Hi, this is Fashion Sizzle, the makings of a dream.
Swarey Designs is a lifestyle urban chic brand for the woman who likes to stand out. The clothing can be taken from day to night with just the switch of a pair of dope kicks or a dope pair of heels. I started doing fashion when I was in high school. It was when I had to decide on what high school I wanted to go to. My dad suggested that I go to the High School of Fashion Industries. It was there where I learned how to sew, where I learned how to drape, where I learned how to sketch. Leaving from fashion, I didn't realize that there was a career as being a fashion designer. From there, I decided to go on and further my career, and I went to the Wood Toby Coburn School for college, where I received my associate's degree. It was there where I gained even more experience, and I did internships with Snoop Dogg clothing. Also, while in high school, I interned for Baby Fat. Through those internships, it allowed me to gain experience inside of what the industry was really about, and it allowed me to gain more knowledge from what I learned in school. I'm inspired by people that go after their dreams. I'm inspired by strong women, people who stand up for themselves, who don't let people tell them no. I'm inspired by strong figures. My favorite designer, I would have to say, is Alexander Wang. I feel like he's one of my favorites because we have a similar aesthetic where it's very sportswear related, but it's also catered towards with influences of street style, and it's catered toward a woman who's strong. She knows who she is, and it's looks that can basically be dressed up or dressed down. I would say Alexander Wang is my inspiration. Some of the fabrics that I like to work with, example from my last collection, this is a sweatsuit that I did. This is French terry, and this is like a fox leather, and a lot of people like this. I'm getting a lot of requests for this, so you will see similar fabrications like this in my new collection. Maybe not the same ones, but a variation of this. Another one of my favorite looks is this dress. This is another signature piece. I call this the varsity dress. It's a take on the varsity jacket, but it's more of a dress for women. You could wear this hanging out with your friends. You could dress this up or dress this down with a simple just switch of your accessories from your sneakers, from sneakers to heels. So it's definitely a cute piece and a closet staple. The state of the fashion industry right now, what I think that is oversaturated. It's a lot of people in the industry who want to be designers, and then there's people who actually are designers. It's too much. You have this celebrity, that celebrity want to be a designer and stuff, but they don't really know anything about fashion. So it waters down the industry, and then the people who have talent, they don't get to shine because it's so flooded with so much people who want to do the same thing. So I feel like that's a major issue. Also, not having major people not having enough finances to release their lines, get it through to enough customers for people to see it. Those are the biggest issues that I have within fashion. Being an emerging designer, there's a lot of obstacles that we face. One of them is dealing with purchasing fabric. A lot of times when you go to purchase fabric, you don't have enough money to buy the whole roll. So you might see a print that you may like, but you can't afford to buy the whole roll because it'll cost like $500 for a whole roll. So basically, when you decide to use that print, when you go back, if you get orders, the print is no longer available. So that is a huge issue with emerging designers. Also, another issue tying on to that is the fact that sometimes another emerging designer might use that print. So being that they use that print, now you no longer want to use that print because now that person is getting known for using that print. So then you don't want to look like a copycat. So these are real deep issues that a lot of us emerging designers are facing within the industry. With being an emerging designer, it's very difficult in the sense that you're trying to follow the schedule of the fashion calendar, competing with the big brands like Chanel or even Philip Lim or things like that if you're more into the sportswear. It's hard because they have the money to get all the resources that they need. Being an emerging designer, that's the biggest issue, is lack of financial support. So when you are trying to follow the calendar, you want to plan ahead, use certain fabrics, but you can't get those fabrics when you need them because they will not be available a year from now. So that's a huge issue that designers face. And even if you wanted to create your own custom prints, that costs money. It's not cheap. So it's definitely hard being an emerging designer. Another pitfall is the only way that you can really sell your clothing is if you sell it via your website or if you sell it to a small boutique. Now, when you sell to a small boutique, a lot of times, being that you're new and no one's never really heard of you, they'll probably offer for you to sell your clothing on consignment. The consignment is like a catch-22 because it could either help you or hurt you. It can hurt you in the sense that you're basically putting your clothing in the store for free for a certain amount of time, and who's to say that the seller of the store is really pushing your product? So your product is sitting in the store, and that product you could be using to do other things with. So that's how it could hurt the designer. How it can help is if it's a really popular and established boutique, by your product being in there, and if it's a good product, someone might see it and pick it up, and you might actually get orders and sales off of it. So that's one of the ways that designers can promote their product and sell it, but that's really the only major avenue that we have. We don't have the opportunity to get into major retailers unless we have more capital or other things in play. This right here, the mannequin, is a pattern that I'm working on for one of the styles that I will be showcasing at the Sizzle fashion show. It's more that's going to be done to it, but this is the starting point. So basically, it's like my signature looks, and the collection is called Femme Forte, which means strong woman. So the women is very like as laid back but sexy pieces that the women can dress up or dress down.
I'm going casual chic tonight.
I love this clothing from Swarey.